Have you ever felt trapped by a silent force? A chain you cannot touch, but that shapes your every step? Imagine walking through a dim forest at twilight. Every step feels heavier. The air is thick, and shadows whisper doubts you never knew were yours. Somewhere deep inside, there is a subtle resistance, a pull that shapes your thoughts, your actions, your heart. In modern life, ego wears the mask of the invisible chain. It hides in comparisons, pride, fear of being seen. It thrives in workplace stress, social conflict, and endless notifications. Each moment, ego whispers, "This is not enough. You are not enough." Inside you rests a kind of emotional clutter, bitterness, silent shame, unmet desires. These obscure your inner compass. Yunus Emre taught that ego is both veil and teacher, a challenge not to be fought, but to be melted away through unveiling, surrender, and love. Yunus Emre was a humble wanderer in Anatolia, translating divine truth into simple words during times of war, exile, and uncertainty. For him, ego's chains were invitations to deeper freedom. What if these chains are not walls, but doorways to the soul? How do you step beyond ego's hold and walk into freedom? Yunus Emre and Ibn Arabi teach that ego's chains dissolve through three keys: unveiling, deeper vision, and presence. These open the heart to its own nature and to the divine. Ego is a veil woven from fear, pride, and desire for control. Life is a labyrinth of mirrors, each reflecting a fragment of your self-image. Kash is the removal of these veils, revealing the heart's truth. Ibn Arabi calls this the becoming of Insan al-Kamil, the perfect human. Yunus Emre lived in exile and hardship, turning suffering into verses that became maps for unveiling. His words remain guides to dissolving ego's chains. Beyond unveiling lies vision, seeing without distortion. Imagine a hall of perfect mirrors reflecting your soul without judgment. Yunus Emre's wandering life was a practice of seeing every moment as a mirror of divine reality. Isuluk is the inner compass that discerns the voice of the soul from the voice of ego. It teaches you to listen deeply and see clearly. Presence is dwelling fully in the now, where ego loosens its hold. Imagine the spinning wheel of time, where stillness and motion meet. Modern science confirms mindfulness reshapes the brain, dissolving habitual ego patterns. Yunus Emre taught the presence is the home of love, the doorway through which the heart melts its chains. These keys are not found by fighting ego, but by turning toward it with courage, humility, and surrender. How can the way of Yunus Emre be lived in everyday life? Ego thrives in distraction, business, social media, comparison, unhealed conflict. These distort presence and amplify self-centeredness. But unveiling is possible in simple, daily acts. There is a story of Ibn Arabi's student, exiled and betrayed. In solitude, betrayal became unveiling. Loneliness became a mirror, and suffering became a song of liberation. This is the path Yunus Emre walked. Here is a daily framework to practice melting ego's chains. Morning. Begin with silence. Breath work, journaling, prayer. This clears mental clutter before life begins. Day. See every encounter as a mirror for your heart. Listen consciously to others and to yourself. Notice where ego speaks. Evening. Reflect on the day. Express gratitude. Notice where ego resisted openness. Science affirms this approach. Mindfulness rewires fear-based ego patterns. Gratitude transforms perception. Presence strengthens emotional resilience. Think of life as a garden. Ego as thorns. Unveiling as gentle pruning, presence as sunlight. When fear is addressed, the hidden song of freedom grows quietly in the heart. What changes when ego's chains melt away? Love replaces resistance. Presence replaces striving. The heart turns toward unity instead of separation. When ego softens, the soul hears its own song. Melting ego's chains aligns you with the eternal harmony of existence. Your life becomes a note in the greater song. One liberated heart awakens others to their own freedom. But there is a warning. Ego-driven acts are still chains in disguise. Only pure intention dissolves them. Mindfulness deepens presence. Neuroplasticity rewires perception. Emotional contagion spreads harmony. Begin with silence in the morning. Practice conscious listening during the day. End with gratitude in the evening. The heart that melts its own chains hears the freedom of the soul. How can melting ego's chains become your daily practice? A simple framework anchors this way. Morning silence, breath work. Journaling to loosen veils before life begins. Day conscious presence. Seeing encounters as mirrors of truth. Evening reflection. Gratitude, acknowledging growth. Life is a river. Ego is stones beneath the current. Unveiling clears the stones. Presence lets the water sing. Small steps matter. A pause before reaction. A breath before judgment. Over time, ego's hold softens. The heart walks freely. What if trials are not chains, but the fire that melts them? Sufi insight teaches hardship is the refining fire that dissolves ego's rigidity. Yunus Emre's life was marked by exile, loss, rejection, a crucible where his heart melted into love. Pain is the stone in the turning wheel. Resistance is the axis of transformation. The seeker does not escape hardship, but turns within it, finding the hidden song of freedom beneath trial. This is how ego's chains are transformed into gateways. What does melting ego's chains mean for the whole? Freedom resonates beyond self. Each liberated heart adds to the harmony of existence. Every act of unveiling is a note in a divine symphony. Imagine life as an orchestra. Every freed heart is an instrument harmonizing with the whole. The way of Yunus Emre reminds us our transformation is never separate. It ripples outward, shaping the collective song. Notice where your heart is called to melt and turn toward freedom. When ego's chains fall away, what remains? Freedom, presence, love. The heart becomes a home for the soul's song. Fear dissolves. Stillness sinks. Let the melting of ego's chains become your daily path, your living way of returning to the whole. When the veils fall, the heart becomes free to sing the eternal song of God.